Hi guys, this is Sydney. So I'm outside right now at a cafe and I thought I would have a chill day, just relax. Then all of a sudden I felt called to be on camera to share some messages in regards to Ascension at this time. So just be aware of the noise outside, and I just start to speak for about like 5 minutes just before, and all of a sudden the moment I turned on the camera, everything like around me, surrounding me, suddenly got so noisy that I wasn't able to speak, and I lost track of my thought. So I kind of got the energies. It was distracting. So I had to put it down and then wait a little bit. Before it was like super quiet, and all of a sudden people started to pass by and just standing in front of me speaking loudly and like all of that. So anyways, so I'm going to share whatever that may come, guided by Source and Gaia at this time. That I had a lot of messages that I've been receiving, consolidating, especially since the full moon in Sagittarius. But then all of a sudden, I felt like, no, I didn't feel right to be on camera for some reason, even though I had the urge. But right now, for some reason, I'm feeling the pull. So let's see what comes out. Let's see how it goes. So I'm just gonna flow with it. So I'm gonna still continue to drink so you can relax as well as if you are drinking with me. I had a piece of chocolate that I was eating, so I'm gonna finish this. So the energy of Sagittarius and full moon has been quite intense. So they had me connect with the moon ever since I got to Shanghai. So especially the last 3 days prior to the full moon in Sagittarius, I was connecting with the moon every single day and night. It was just right in front of my face. And then since the day after the full moon in Sagittarius, energy started to rise up really quickly. I could feel it in my physical vessel. A lot of light codes coming down. So energy was quickly shifting and changing and elevating in frequency. And that means usually on an individual level, depending on where you are, frequency-wise, a lot of the shadow will come up again. And it's going to be, for some people, like an initiating energy. If someone have been hiding in their shadow, avoiding looking into their shadow, whatever it is, then it's going to bring them out more. If someone has been working very diligently on their, shadow side, and they were not afraid to face them, for them it could be more like integration, calibration was the word that came yesterday. And just this morning, the message that came was the bull. The bull has been coming up, like as in symbol, like in Wall Street, that bull statue. Here in Shanghai, by the Huangpu River, like the moment I got here, As I was in the car getting into the center of the city or that area, I think on the second day or something like that, I start to see the bull. And I was wondering, like, whoa, that looks like that exact bull statue on Wall Street in New York City. I remember being there, like, many years ago, that people were lining up to touch, so that they could get rich and stuff like that. And it was like, for me, at first, I thought it was funny that they made it exact miniature, but it's like it was the same looking bull. So this garbage truck just passed by, and it said residual trash or residual garbage or something. So that could be a message for someone who may be resonating, that whatever that is residual for you to release at this time, for your integration, for your solidification, for your calibration, or for your initiation, however it is. Everyone is on a unique journey, but there's something that may be surfacing for you to begin the cycle or end the cycle is what is coming. And this full moon in Sagittarius energy carried the initiating portal. Okay, what's coming is the word portal. What I received a few days ago was the new portal, that new timeline opening up for the age of sovereignty. That is the new earth energy. That I was guided to share some messages on shorts in regards to understanding sovereignty in relation to understanding unconditional love. And the ideas and definitions we have at this time in regards to sovereignty may be very different, because I don't know how long it's going to take, but in the new year, in the new earth frequency, or in the new golden age, so-called, in that reality, we're no longer be governed by the energy of money. So at this time, the money works more as a kind of a tool to separate people, separate classes, hierarchy, rich and the poor, the gap, that creates all these karmic ties and entanglements in relationships and energies on earth. That is very heavy at this time, but we are moving to pure energy exchange of love, as exchanging resources. For example, like, it's going to be that reciprocating energies, that we need to stay in balance in giving and receiving in order to stay in high frequency, because if you're just giving, you're depleting your energy, and you're receiving, you're taking advantage of other people's energies. So the balance needs to be established to remain in high frequency. So for example, when you are giving, it's more out of love. It's pure love. It's expression of your pure love. So whatever you create, it's it's part of your passion, love, joy, inspiration. And then when you receive something in return, at this time it's monetary, right? People may purchase your products or services, or they will donate because they appreciate what you do, or something of that nature. It's all part of staying in balance to keep the frequency high for both parties. And also, when you are in a state of receiving, you allow other people to experience the joy of giving as well, joy of providing. So there's joy in giving and also in receiving, and love in both giving and receiving. So that's the main energy that we're going to live in and move into. And for example, you make something and you're sharing with your neighborhood, and then your neighbor returns what you gave. Like you gave them like for example, that you cook something, you share your food with them, or what you baked or whatever, as an example, and they will return the dish with the fruits that they harvested in their garden, and it's going to be an equal exchange of love and appreciation. So that's like more of the energy of sovereignty, that we are standing alone, we are standing in love, and we are giving and receiving, and everything is what is coming is like a full circle. The circle is always like it's full, like in it's not half empty, or it's not it's not depletion, it's not like over giving or over receiving, however it is. So that's how energies really work. Even now at this time, under the governance of money and all these energies, that's how the cycles work. It's just that the cycles come in a little bit later due to lower vibrational frequencies, right? But the more we move into a different timeline, the cycles will run faster, because higher vibration means like faster movements. So like in Asian 4-pillar destiny reading, like where they look at all these earth elements and they break down like a individual, because we are all made out of earth elements, our energy makeup. So like metal, wood, that rock, water, fire in everyone. And then they break it down to yang energy and yin energy, and everyone has different individual unique energy makeup that's connected to their soul purpose and what they're meant to serve and learn in this lifetime, the personality traits and all that, sort of like a blueprint. Similar to astrology, there are some commonalities and there are some little differences. Or I would say, rather than differences, I would say it's more like a different providing perspectives on different areas that the other may not cover, is what is coming. So that's the energy that we are living in. Just like that, we live with a lot of these elements. And what was I saying? I forgot. I got so into that 4-pillar destiny reading stuff. What was I saying? So, okay, anyway, so that oneness, that circle represents the energy of oneness, in like full completion, the balance within. So that's very significant at this time, that we embody that balance within. And also, I'm just going to let it sit like that. Let's see whether it comes back, if it's meant to. Okay. So that full moon in Sagittarius energy has been that it was closing out a lot of different cycles, and then what came today was that we are also on an individual level going to start to experience different realities, I would say, meaning the energies will be manifested in a physical plane. So you will start to experience something one by one, slowly, is what is coming. So in that sense, there was a huge portal during the full moon in Sagittarius, and also on the 2nd of June, Jupiter went into Cancer, and the energy rise up was also very, I would say, what would be the word? Like rising up, but not in a sense like, I wouldn't use the word powerful, but it's more like the energy shift is going to affect our individual energy makeup. That's unique to everyone. It could be triggering, it could be activating, it could be initiating, it could be integrating, it could be like calibrating, however these words resonate due to whatever phase or season you're in energetically. That is to further support whatever that you may be going through, and that at this point in time, as we just enter into a new timeline for certain individuals, this energy rise up that took place the past, I would say, since the full moon in Sagittarius. So how many days is it? It's like is it 4th or 5th? Today's 5th. Okay, so it's been like 5 days, 6 days. The energy rise up was to support us to release whatever residual energies that we needed to look into under the theme of this Sagittarius full moon. In order for you to fully open up your heart, the theme that has been coming up is self-worth. So, for example, a lot of people, I say a lot of people in general, but okay, what is coming is that it's not really an exaggeration to say everybody on earth at this time, that they experienced feelings of unworthiness and pleasing tendencies. Everyone has that frequency. And especially it had to do with like pleasing. That's tied to the fear of rejection, abandonment, that could be expressed or embodied on an individual level, very uniquely. So for example, personally, I grew up under parents who were very controlling, and also the communication wasn't there. It was more like yelling, fighting, arguing, threatening, and then silent treatments, a lot of bullying as well. So even though I wasn't able to articulate or identify on a verbal level, on an awareness level, ever since I was little, I would catch up on these energies. And then I would harbor a lot of anxieties and insecurities. So that created a lot of pleasing tendencies without realizing, because that was my way to survive. And that that was their way to keep their control, right? Because through that, I'm constantly seeking their approval on a subconscious level, which makes me feel powerless and imprisoned. And at the same time, I develop controlling tendencies, right, in survival, because that's how I want to remain in control of how others perceive me. So I always wanted to look a certain way or appear a certain way to certain neighbors or certain people within the family or in workplaces, among teachers or different social groups, you know. So that's how we all experience. So this is just my example, right? So we all live through it. and I lived through it as well, that it created a lot of this fear of abandonment, right? If I assert myself, if I say no, what are they going to do? They're not going to approve me. They're not going to give me love. They're not going to give me the favor. So there's a lot of anxiety, insecurities that's underlying in the subconscious that is pulling me to, I would say, water down, shrink myself, or to ignore my own needs. So basically putting others more significant than myself. So that's the basic energy. So meaning like more significance, meaning hierarchical. It's more like up and down. So that was the energy of duality consciousness that created all this karmic energies or lower vibrations in relation to fear. So something of that nature. So whatever that theme is, especially that's coming up very strongly in relation to this full moon and Sagittarius energies, that in order for you to really feel free to speak yourself, to express who you are without so-called apologizing yourself or ignoring or disrespecting yourself or betraying yourself, for example, there's a lot of calibration that one needs to go through. The healing, the learning, the growing, everything, right? And empowering. So that's where the symbol of bull came. Bull representing the Taurus energy. It's the idea of self-worth. Like the word, take the bull by the horn. You have to be very direct with confidence. And when you start to speak yourself, a lot of people are going to feel uncomfortable, especially people who are used to pleasing or are being pleased. Or it's going to trigger other people's rejection wounds, abandonment wounds as well. Doesn't mean you have to be rude, but that's how they may interpret it as, because they're not used to that energy. They're used to deceiving other people, deceiving themselves, like playing nice, you know what I mean? So it also ties into asserting your boundaries. And when you start to draw boundaries, a lot of people are going to be unhappy and they want to retaliate, basically because they're triggered, or they are feeling triggered to control more. That's the shadow that's coming up for them that they need to look into. But if they don't, it's going to exacerbate. So another opportunity for every individual, which choice that they will make. So that's how things are going to play out. And so I just want to ask Source and Gaia whether they want me to continue speaking on this theme, on this energy of Sagittarius. Yeah, so at this time, as I shared a little bit on shorts, like a couple days ago, or I can't remember, was it yesterday? A couple of days ago. There's a lot of heavy Cancer energy in June, with a lot of air and fire signs in the outer planets like Uranus, Pluto, and what's the other? One other one. And then we just had Jupiter entering into Cancer. So a lot of this water energy, and also the Venus will be moving from Cancer, starting out as in Cancer early June, and from mid-June it's going to go into Leo. So with that, what came was another integration of the flow state with water and fire, which I shared a video on just yesterday, I believe, that came. So the energy of Hawaii has been coming through very strongly. So this energy integration, we've been working on this since the 7/7 portal in 2024 when I was in Bali. I shared it at the time on YouTube that the moment I arrived, I started to see the pyramid, and I start to see this water, like ocean wave, and on top was the fire. So that was like the initiating point where we started to work on this theme of integrating the water and fire, or the divine feminine, divine masculine integration within, or union within, and all of these themes and different little branches of themes, and all that stuff for the past, I would say, June, almost 2 years now. So we are like almost at the integration point. We are to soon, like next month is going to be July, another 7/7 portal. So with that energy of Hawaii has been coming through ever since I got to Shanghai. And when I even was in Hong Kong, I started to tap into it a little bit. And then when I got here, it started to intensify. And that volcanic energy of the fire, which I have been working and connecting with when I was in Hawaii in 2025, very heavily. And that hula dance is not just like a dance. All these like tribal dances from like Native Americans, or all these native tribes all over the world, or civilizations, or however you resonate with these terms, right? What I received was that there are codes handed down from their ancestors. So in these dances, there are codes. So these are activating something within the movements. And hula also has that codes embedded within the dance, and it has a story of water and fire, with the goddess Pele and all that, that animation. What is it like? Is it Lilo and Stitch and all that animation? So that started to come through. And for individuals who've been working on integration of these divine feminine, divine masculine energies within, what came yesterday was the final calibration integration point for certain individuals in the collective who have been working diligently, and for others who have been avoiding doing the inner work, will be another initiating opportunity due to the celestial energy support. So something will trigger them, or you could make it a trigger, or you could make it an activation, right? It depends on how you are going to align. So we call that an opportunity for ascension. So we're given another opportunity for ascension for individuals in the collective. So that's what came through. And so they had me connect with the sun, especially the sunset energy yesterday with the water. And the moment I woke up, the message that I received was ocean. And I saw like there's a Huangpu River that I could connect to every day from where I'm staying. And I'm guided to stay at certain places by Source and Gaia for specific purposes. I saw the river, so I understood that they wanted me to connect with the river every day and connect with the codes. And I saw a huge cargo ship passing by. When I woke up in the morning, it said ocean. And the energy of ocean had been a big theme the past, I would say, in the month of May, very heavily, especially like all these whales and dolphins and all these energies. And when I was in Hong Kong in May, I started to receive a lot of messages on whales with baby whales and how they're milking the baby whales. So in May, what happened on a collective level, on an ascension level, was we were birthing new consciousness. So that's what came with that symbology of whale giving birth to a baby whale and then milking. And so that we are to nurture this new consciousness that's being born out of this new energy frequency starting from May. Whatever that is, but I'm just talking collectively for this consciousness that's going to affect everyone, and then slowly moving now for certain individuals, especially when 44,000 frequency holders, light workers, however you resonate with these terms, who have been doing the work. You just completed that integration so that you are flowing, not just overflow of water or overflow of fire, but in balance within of fire and water. The feminine and the masculine within, the yin and the yang, the light and the shadow. So you embody both within. So yeah, I'm guided to share that message, and I'm just going to tap in. Is there anything else? Anything else? So the moment I arrived here, I felt called to sit outside, and it was very sunny today. And then today, for some reason, as I was walking outside, very windy. Still very windy right now. So this energy of air element is playing, is of significance at this time. Is it Uranus, Pluto? What's another outer planet? I can't really... Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune, all in air sign at this time. So that's going to fuel this acceleration or whatever shift on an individual level, collective level, is supporting. And that Cancer energy is to root down that security within once again by looking into your abandonment wounds, rejection wounds, in regards to like certain dynamics that you experienced in various kinds of relationships that developed your habit of control that you need to look into and release further, however it is. That's going to really solidify this energy of rooting down this home within your physical vessel. So wherever you go, you are secure within. So you don't have to compromise yourself, and you don't have to feel anxious to assert yourself or feel worried, or basically no longer living in age of survival or the energy of survival, constantly in stress, anxiety, and worries. So that's all in alignment and tied together. and that this fire energy that we are moving into from Cancer to Leo is going to help you to further unionize the fire and water within so that you could flow also under the energy of passion with the yang fire energy, a lot of energy. And we are moving into the full moon in Capricorn at the end of June. So that's also representing or in line with that so-called timeline shifting, however you resonate with these terms, that your new vibrational frequencies that you have embodied are now manifesting in your physical reality, because there's always a lag, a time lapse, time gap between the energy frequency and the physical manifestation because of the slow or lower vibrational energies on Earth. So that's in line with that full moon in Capricorn. We are at this time working on that. That Capricorn energy is calling you to. You have been releasing a lot of the toxic habits or patterns previous to this point, and then now you are incorporating or creating new habits, new patterns that are matched to your new frequency. They're no longer aligned with the energy of survival, and then also bringing in that energy of discipline, dedication, commitment, and sense of responsibility with inner maturity, all tied to the energy of Capricorn now at this time, is helping you to also solidify and build, but not through control or needing to control the external, because you have released a lot of that insecurity energies, or you're still working on a little bit of the residual remnants is what is coming. That as you are working on that through the month of June until the full moon in Capricorn, it's going to accelerate a little bit more. But as always, all these changes are not going to be like just 0 to 100 all of a sudden. Universe or celestial support always are guiding us in a way that we are able to digest, so that we can build momentum and solidify the ground as we go or as we move forward, instead of just building castle on a quicksand, so to speak. So that's how they work. So ego wants to see the acceleration, ego wants to see the faster results, but that's how they're serving us, helping us at this time. So is there anything else? So I feel called to share just that at this time. And if something comes up and I feel called to share, I will continue to speak. Okay, I'm guided to mention white butterfly. So if you've been seeing white butterfly since the day of full moon, the day after until today, you are one of those groups. You are the individual part of that group that you have done a lot of work, and that during this full moon you just integrated, and your physical reality is going to match to your vibrational integration that you have embodied within, is what is coming for me to share. So, but it's going to build slowly with consistent momentum energy rather than like a quick shoot up. Is with a purpose to help you solidify, help you build your castle in a way, in a solid ground. With that, a lot of energy of rock has been coming up since May. The stone, the Merlin, the Excalibur, that Ace of Sword energy, the discernment, in relation to self-assertion that's tied to opening up your heart. A lot of number 33 and 77 relating to Christ consciousness. Also 33 petals in our heart opening up as we heal these wounds, or however the trauma or karmic imprints. We are opening up more heart so that we could fully embody, or we are starting to embody, the energy of sovereignty. And as we do so, the purpose is to build the new earth, or build new systems in whatever area it is. It could be technology, it could be medicine, it could be food, it could be agriculture, it could be architecture, whatever it is. It could be music. It's on that energy of sovereignty one embodies, and whatever that is created out of that person who embodies it, that's going to carry that frequency out as well. So it is very important at this time for individuals to work on self, work on inner self, focus on inner self without wanting to create outer success or chase after that. So that's whole purpose. So understand the bigger picture behind these things. So we're just living in a very interesting time. When I look at it, like observe all this, how people are living in different countries and cities and all these different cultures. Like, I was in Shanghai maybe like, I don't know, was it 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, and it was a very different atmosphere that I was connecting to than now. And still, like, I'm witnessing and spotting interesting dynamics, energy dynamics, and what is going on here. So whatever it is, we are on earth at this time. We are to embody this earth suit, the earth experience, and with more curious eyes, like curiosity, like a child of innocence, to discover, to learn more, where you are more open to different possibilities, expanded perspectives. So however it resonates, we were working on all of that together, the purification of soul process, the last 2 years. So with that, okay, the last thing that I want me to mention is that if you feel like crying, or suddenly something makes you cry, release that energy from your physical vessel. The energy needs to be released. Release it is the last message that is coming from Source and Gaia. They want me to share. So wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you lots of love and your appreciation for your support. And also a lot of people leaving very loving, supportive comments on my shorts. And if you're enjoying, I appreciate you, even though I'm not interacting with every single thing. Just that it's really an interesting time that we're living. Yeah, that I'm witnessing, that I'm experiencing. And when I was in Sydney, I was tapping into a lot of different timelines of the 1800s, the 1900s. Energy was very different, very dense. And I kind of lived in that realm for a bit as I was tapping into it. It was extremely difficult, like in a lot of the movies that we see. But if you are in it, I don't know how we went through, but we all went through it. So here you are now in this year of 2026. So when I was young, I used to love that animation, Japanese animation, um, called Anne of Green Gables. It was based on that novel, and I think just several years ago, I came across this book written on the author, and actually her life in the, was it 1800s or 1900s, was horrible due to a lot of suppression of women and a lot of stuff. And so she had a lot of psychological warfare actually, and her life was very much um, like very dark. But she used her imagination to write that novel, created this character, Anne, who was assertive, bold, and creative, and expressive, and independent, and that's what she longed for. But the age at the time, or that energy of that era, couldn't support that. So at this time now in 2026, we have the availability, if one chooses to live that life and create our own life, live more in a sovereign way, as the earth frequency is shifting and changing and we are ascending. So that's just coming up for me to share from my experience with going into that 1800, 1900 energies of a lot of discrimination, a lot of judgments, and just really horrible darkness that I don't want to experience ever again, because that was really like nasty. So I don't know how people survive, but we lived through these ages in different timelines and reincarnations. So if you are here, congratulations, because you lived through a lot of dark times and you're finally here. So let's continue. Let's keep moving forward, and let's continue to, or learn to love each other more unconditionally. And then it's never too late for anyone to start getting or hopping on that journey. So with that, I'm going to end the video now, and I'll see you in my other videos. Bye.